What a world, we back one more again, man. Been a minute, but we here. Inspiration come when it come. Today's discussion is gonna be called "Embodiment is the Shift." I know a lot of folks been talking about shifting timelines, or making changes and things in your life, or how do you transition to the you that you want to be. And um, what comes to mind is a song. Lupe Fiasco got a song called "Form Follows Function," and that's really what it comes down to. But to put it in more practical terms, is anything you have a vision of accomplishing, of becoming, of shifting to a different lifestyle, you have to start embodying that vision on the minor scale, because the work doesn't change. The only thing that changes is the attention you get for the work and the response that you get back from it, but the actual work doesn't change. What I mean by that is like this. Um, Simple terms. If you want to become a top basketball player, if you want to make it to the NBA, or if you want to be a boxer, how do you become that? By becoming it. Like they said, you don't play boxing, okay? If you want to be the heavyweight champ, well, what do you have to start doing? You have to start embodying the heavyweight champ. How do you embody the heavyweight champ? Well, what would the heavyweight champ be doing? Training. Like I said, the work don't change, okay? He's gonna be training. He's gonna be conditioning. He's gonna be focusing on the right things in his diet. All these things to get the championship, to achieve that goal. Now, if that's something you want to do, well, you have to start embodying that. Okay? You don't wait until you get to the league to start training like the pros. No, you start doing that now. That's why a lot of young kids and teenagers, they go to these youth camps, they go to professional camps where pros are training. Why? Because they want to get that insight on what the pros are doing, so they can start doing that now and perfect it by the time they get to the pros. So by the time they show up, they already are. Okay, it's not about, oh, I know, you already are, because you've already taken on everything that is required to do it. Like if you want to be a neurosurgeon or something, okay? Well, what are neurosurgeons doing already? They're making themselves aware of certain aspects of the brain. Before they ever pull a scalpel out, they got to read books, they got to study, they got to pass certain exams. So those things you need to do, and if you want to become a neurosurgeon, to embody that, what is the neurosurgeon doing? They're learning their craft. Um, in my time when I was in Hollywood or ATL or whatnot in film, one of the things that I was kind of, I don't want to say overwhelmed by, but I was kind of caught off guard by a little bit, and also kind of impressed, is that as I was around a lot of other people who have been acting longer than I had, who are getting more prominent roles, more speaking roles, and things like that, one common factor I noticed is that a lot of them were constantly going to different acting classes or different acting sessions with people, finding different techniques, always trying to improve their craft. Okay, because that's what the top actors are doing. There's multiple schools of acting, or different ways you can approach acting and whatnot, and they try to learn as many ways as they can so they can apply them for different roles or where they see fit. Okay, that's what embodying is. You have to start becoming that which you're trying to be. I always think that the people who made it out of the hood, or poverty, different conditions, I think the consistency they have is that, like the Bible says, where there is no vision, the people perish. So if you're living in unsavory, unsatisfactory conditions, you have to have a vision that is beyond what you see in front of you. That's what's going to keep you through all those trying times and those hard nights. Is not what you see in front of your face, not your current reality, the vision you have of where you're going. That's what will keep you driving. As long as you have a vision for where you're going, you're gonna, and you protect that vision, you're gonna start making decisions to manifest that vision. Okay, and that's really, really what it is. Anything you want to be, or if you want to shift talent, be able to start becoming that. You have to start preparing for the arrival of that which you seek. Even if it's a relationship or whatnot. You want to, you're looking for, create a family, have a committed relationship. You got to start preparing for that. Start embodying that even before you find that special someone and start creating that family. How do you do that? By making yourself the person, developing your uh, um, emotional intelligence. If you need therapy or work on trauma, dealing with these things so that when you do meet this person, you are the person that you want to be, so that can provide that, or that can create that, or that can become part of that. Okay, you don't want to, like I said, everybody's probably experienced this some facet of life where an opportunity comes and you're not prepared for it, or what got you by on another opportunity is not gonna cut it for this one. Okay, and the universe, in maintaining its order, it's not going to give you something that you can't handle. It's not going to give you something you're not prepared for. Okay? That's how the universe does it. The universe tests you to see, do you really want this? Are you really locked in for this? Are you really committed to this? And it has different ways of testing you. But testing you to see what you really want to do. Okay? Because at some point you got to make a choice, and you got to walk in that choice 100%, even before the reality starts manifesting. Regardless of what come what may, there's numerous stories of people who have gone through the ringer had gone through hell to get to heaven, basically. And that was not only their refining period and their defining period, but that was their testing period to see if you really gonna do what it takes to create, to manifest this. And it's not always easy. Hell, even was it Kevin on stage, the comedian, and someone else with y'all had a similar story. Basically, long story short, these people had to go through periods, or these individuals and their spouse had to go through the challenge, because Kevin on stage, as well as the other director, Brian Cooper, they both had to go through stages where their wife or their significant other at the time had to be the breadwinner, helping fund or helping pay regular bills while they focused on creating their craft. Okay? Now everybody talks about ride or die and all this stuff, whatnot, but that easy to say than do, okay? Because especially in the world we live in today, you hear about a woman taking care of a man, or paying bills, or living with a man and she paying the bills or taking care of stuff, and he's not doing that. That's a hard criticism to take. Like, well, girl, you crazy? You take care of a grown-ass man? All that criticism they have to do. Or just, people's opinions, people's thoughts, even as a man. If you're not one of those men who like living off a woman, you know what I'm saying? You're in a situation where your woman is stressing and working and trying to cook things. That's pressure on you. That's an uncomfortable feeling. That's something you don't want to feel. But that, for those individuals, like I just named, Ryan Coogler, Kevin Stage, even I think Kendrick Lamar, his girl was holding him down before the record label and everything took off. That's a challenge for both of them, okay? But as you see, by making through that challenge, they all shine in the light together. Kevin and his wife still happy, Coogler and his wife happy, Kendrick and his wife happy, because they made it through that period, that trying time, because they both had the vision. Their wives shared the vision they had, and they both were able to achieve that. Even if you weren't, there's people who, I know everybody talks about, like what, not Tyrese, Tyler Perry as a master. Tyler Perry went through a period when he was curating his plays and whatnot, and he was homeless. But he's still putting in the work to create his art and create his material. Those were his testing times. And those testing times are to see how bad you want it. Because many others turn away when those times come. There's other folks who when they, bills was due, and where, struggles came upon them, they say, I gotta put this, I gotta focus on this, and they let the dream die. And there's folks who, other women who, when they man, was trying to work on this, they had to carry a little extra load, they couldn't do it, so they stepped away, and nothing ever came. Okay? So, like I said, it's not be too long about it. Embodiment is the key to shifting into anything that you're trying to become. And you have to start doing it on the base level of, because look, again, the work don't change. The only thing that changes is the recognition and the attention and profit to pay. Again, back to what I was saying about the boxer. You want to be a boxer, got to be training. You got to be working out, doing your skills, hitting your weight bag, doing that, diet, and all these things that you have to do before you even get in the ring. Okay, but again, once you do get in the ring, once you do accomplish, get your first wins, and once you win a belt, nothing changed. The work didn't change. Only thing is now you're getting recognized for it. So after you win the belt and you're defending your title, what do you be doing? Training, dieting, the same things you were doing when you were a contender trying to become the champion. Okay? And sometimes that's what you need to do to realize something that may not actually be for you. You might have a vision of something you want to do, but when you find out what the actual day-to-day, what it actually encompasses, you're like, yeah, this ain't really what I want. Okay? So, in part of embodiment, or even before you get to embodiment, come back to knowledge of self. Know yourself. So you don't waste time chasing or trying to create something, manifest something that you don't really want, that's not truly aligned for you, that's aligned with you, whatnot. Once you see the reality of what that is. Because there are a lot of things that, that seem fun or seem cool until you realize what it actually entails, and then it's not so fun, not so cool. Not to be X-rated with that, but I remember seeing, I think, an interview, porn star Mr. Martin somebody did. We said, one time he was shooting a porno scene with a new girl or whatever who, I guess, didn't really realize the reality of what goes on in the porn industry. And he could tell that she was uncomfortable. He was like, you don't really want to be here doing this, do you? And she's like, yeah, nah. He's like, okay. He cut the scene and said, you made whatever they told you. You may have must not understood what you was getting into, so go on about your way. This really ain't the industry you really want to be in. And that's really kind of all of it, man. I hope I kind of made that clear. But whatever it is you want to accomplish, whatever it is you're trying to become, envision it first, and then embody it. Once you visualize what it is you want to be, embody it by doing the work. The same work you're doing today, before that comes into play, is the same work you'll be doing once that thing is traded. And I'll leave y'all with this last little story before I finish. Will Packer, film producer, did Girls Trip and whatnot, and Why Did I Get Married, I think he did. But anyway, he was saying when he was a young up and coming director trying to get where he's at now, he was working as an intern on another film set, and when he had a little moment to speak with the director one-on-one, he said, hey, I really been wanting to speak to you about this project I have, this film idea, this movie idea. And he said as soon as he said that, he could see the guy's expression change. He started rolling his eyes. He could already tell, because people always just like folks always try, hey, check out my demo. The director thought it was another one. So there's somebody else who want to pitch this idea to me, this, that, and the other. Well, everything changed in the conversation when Will Packer took out a physical copy of the movie he was telling him about that he had already created with the funds and resources he had. Then the director's whole expression changed. He said, oh, whoa. You've already created the film? You've already created the movie you're talking about? Okay, I can work with you. Because most people out here are just talking about the idea they have. You've already taken the resources and money you had and directed and created a film. I'll work with you. Prime example of embodiment. At that point in time, Will Packer already was a director. He already was a film script writer, a movie maker already. Okay? Him making that little small demo movie thing he did, that's the same thing he's still doing today. It's just on a bigger scale. He's still directing, he's still creating films. He's just now getting more recognition and more attention for it. But because he embodied that even before the world took notice, that's how he manifested his reality that he has today. And we can all do the same. We all should be doing the same. All could be doing the same. Anyway, man, y'all be blessed. That's y'all Sunday sermon. Peace, love, and prosperity always.
I'm just having me this moment of clarity. So my spirit keep trying to tell me something I know. When I'm all sober and the high is over, I still know what I know. I'm just having me this moment of clarity. This what my spirit keep trying to tell me something.